Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. We are going to have a discussion on serving the humanity. From Sri Aurobindo Savitri, we have heard the one-line quotation from Savitri. I can quote here right now. He serves the world that him the world may serve. There is actually some selfish motive behind the service, because most of the time we keep quoting the word service to mankind is service to God. Sri Aurobindo also quotes he serves the world that him the world may serve. There is an intention of getting some return. So it is an investment for gaining returns. Anyway, when we talk of the topic serving the humanity, two words are normally coming. One is service and the second one is coming, that is humanity. So let us first quote have the explanation on these two terms, what is service and what is humanity. Both the terms we will discuss from Sri Aurobindo. Then we will go for the mother, how she is explaining really serving the humanity. So first term we get really that is actually service. We most of the time we find service. Sri Aurobindo quotes love and serve men. Very interestingly, Sri Aurobindo quotes love and serve men, but be aware lest your desire lest thou desire their approbation, obey rather God within thee. How? What is the motive? Most of the time, service to mankind is service to God. Here also we can find the Sri Aurobindo quotes love and serve men. That is required. But thing is that you must check how be aware lest your desire lest thou desire their approbation. So what we have to do before serving, we are going to serve the humanity, serve and love the humanity, obey rather God within thee. Again, we have got a beautiful quotation on servitude. That is also defined by Sri Aurobindo. Service is the law of love. Again, servitude is the law of love in the being voluntarily giving itself to serve the play of its other selves in the multiplicity. Servitude is the law of love in the being voluntarily giving itself to serve the play of its other selves in the multiplicity. One, he became multiplicity of character. There it said voluntarily giving itself to serve the play of its other selves in the multiplicity. So here we have gone very interestingly for the service, and another term which is coming under our discussion, that is humanity. Sri Aurobindo quotes on humanity. Humanity, Sri Aurobindo quotes, is in the mass is still hard, crude, and vile ore, yet to be processed. This is in the ore condition only. Humanity in the mass, not we are focusing on one or two remarks or one or two individual species, but in a mass, in the mass is still hard, crude, and vile ore. It is yet to be processed and yet to get the final result. Sri Aurobindo again quotes nicely that respect human life as long as you can. Respect human life as long as you can, but respect more the life of the humanity. Human as much as human life as long as you can respect, but another aspect, still greater aspects here in the quotes, but respect more the life of humanity. Again, Sri Aurobindo having the great familiar words here in the quotes. Humanity is not the highest Godhead. Humanity is not the highest Godhead. God is more than humanity. Already you have known God is more than humanity. God shall grow in man. That man, being human, may grow even as God. So God, the man, human, then God. God is definitely more than humanity. But in humanity too, we have to find and serve Him. Here also His presence is there. So our duty is to find and serve Him. against your in the course. Humanity fulfills itself when it transcends humans. Humanity fulfills itself. Humanity we know, but it is unfulfilled. The fulfillment will be achieved only when it transcends humanity and becomes God. Again, the human touches first the divine and then it becomes the divine. Humanity, human, it has to become the divine only by with the touch of the divine. So the condition, precondition is that human touches first the divine, then become the divine. And the final is here in the course. The divine fullness is the whole real aim of humanity. What is the whole and real soul real aim of humanity? That is the divine fullness. You have seen, you have experienced, you have put under the observation. Anyway, we are going for on this topic. It is a very interesting topic for us, and we are that question also being put to mother. On that only we'll have a very brief idea on serving humanity. Question was like this: why do you want to serve humanity? What is the idea? It is ambition. It is in order to become a great man among men. It is difficult to understand. I can see that. So what is the purpose of serving humanity? That is what the question. What is the idea? You want to be greatest among the great man among men? What is that is still not understood. The divine is everywhere. So if one serves humanity, one serves the divine. Is not it like this? So another question also. Divine is everywhere. Suppose we are serving the humanity naturally in a greater way. We are serving the humanity. Serving the God means to serve the humanity. So when serving the humanity in the contrary terms, naturally it is a service to the divine. And on that, Mother is having a marvelous observation. Also, of course, he answers the question with that's marvelous. The clearest thing in this business is to say the divine is in me. That's what the precondition that must be understood in a very prominent way. The divine is in me. If I serve myself, I am also serving the divine. That is the what the mother loves. In fact, the divine is everywhere. The divine will do his work very well within you. He has sent you. He has given you birth. He is everywhere. He is inside you. So he can do his work anywhere without even well without you. So I see quite well that you are not you don't understand. That's what mother claims. You should not be very much misunderstood. Mother quotes. I see quite well that you don't understand. But truly, if you do understand that divine is there in all things, it is there. The God, world is God fulfilled in outwardness. You know divine everywhere. His presence can be very much visualized in everything, all things. With what are you meddling in serving the humanity? It is there in humanity. It is everywhere. So to serve humanity, you must know better than the divine, than the divine. You must know better than the divine of what you must what must be done for it. So don't know better than the divine how to serve it, because you know divine inside me, divine everywhere, divine in every beings. So that must be understood. The divine is everywhere. Again, mother quotes. Yes, things don't seem to be divine. As for me, I see only the one solution. If you want to help humanity, there is only one thing to do. Here, if your intention is to serve the humanity, then only one thing to do. It is to take yourself as completely as possible and offer yourself to the divine. So only your third, offer yourself completely to the divine, and to take yourself as completely as it is possible. That completion must be there, and that offering must be there to the divine. That is what required. Because in the way, at least mother quotes, the material reality which you represent will be able to grow a little more like the divine. So if it is there, this idea is there, so you will grow one step, two step, or few steps like the little more like the grow a little more like the divine. So we are told that the divine is in all things. That is quite possible. It is there. Yes, it is correct. We are told that divine is all things. So why don't things change if it is there? No, naturally, because seed of the Godhead, it lurks in us. Why don't change? Because the divine does not get a response. Everything does not respond to the divine. That is the lacuna. It is there in all things, in everywhere. Everybody you can see, but actually there is no response. So one must search the depths in the depths of their consciousness to see him. This you must go deep inside. You must search for him. Why don't you want to do to serve humanity? Give food for the poor. You can feed millions of them. That will not be a solution. Mostly we do feed people, we give some gift. Anyway, we are that is only a showy incident. This is not the solution. The problem will remain the same. Suppose you are offering something, some food, you are offering some gift, you are offering, that problem will continue, persist. There will be no change. Now, give new and better living conditions for men. The divine is in them. How is it in the things that don't change? The divine does not must know better than you the conditions of the humanity. He knows, he has created, he knows the problem, where he knows where is the solution, better and better than us. So what are you? You represent only a little bit consciousness and a little bit of matter. You are just you are a small element of the great one of the greatest of the whole universe. You are just a fragment. You are just a being. So what the divine knows better. So it is that you call myself. That's what you call myself. I am doing. If you want to help humanity, the world, or the universe, the only thing is to give the little bit of entirely to the divine. But if you want to serve the divine, you give yourself. Even if not fully, at least to little bit you try to give it. Why is it world? Why is the world not divine? It is evident that the world is not in order. It is actually not proportionately in order. It is actually random. It is here and there. So only solution to the problem to give what belongs to you, what really belongs to you. You try to give to the divine. Give it totally, entirely to the divine, not only for yourself but for the humanity, for the universe. Whatever you have, whatever you are, whatever you think, everything you surrender, you give, consecrated to the divine for the sake of the yourself and for the sake of the humanity, human at large, and for the universe. There is no better and greater solution. How do you want to help humanity? You don't even know the what is the need of the humanity. Perhaps you know still less what power you are serving. Similarly, just like one sensitively, one you are going and serving, but you don't know really the power hidden within you. How can you change everything without indeed having changed yourself? Be the change you want to see. Try to change. If you want to change the world, try to change yourself. So see the change, and you start from yourself. And again, mother course. You are not powerful enough to do it. How do you expect that help another if you don't have the higher consciousness than he? So you must have a higher consciousness. You must gain something. You must know the society need about the universe, and you must know how can you do, because that consecration of that knowledge of the divine and help, it must be there with you. It is such a childish idea, but of course, children who say, "I am opening a boarding house. I am going to build a crèche, give soup to the poor, preach this knowledge, spread the religion." Just so many great things. If a child just renounces, remembers, and recalls, repeats again and again, just imagine where really it is, how it can be justified. It is only because you consider yourself better than others. For that, actually, you are here to serve, to love the divine, to serve like this. Think you know better than they what they should be or do. It is only an egoistic concept, and it is totally you are staying in the ignorance, simply moving here and there. That's what it is. Serving humanity You want to continue all that. So it is not the change the things much till now. Nothing has been much more changed. It is not to help humanity that one opens to a hospital or a school. With this, you can't go for the to help the divine or to help the humanity. So mother quotes on on two aspects: opening school and hospital. You can open millions of hospitals, not only one or two. They will not be prevent people from getting ill. So people will be getting ill. How? What is the solution? So think that how opening a hospital is not important. How the people can fall into ill. That is what is more important. On the contrary, they will have every facility and encouragement to fall ill, because they will be having the wrong idea that medicine is there, doctors are there, so whatever I do I can get the solution from them. So like this, they will come bear to worse condition. They will be living. They will be moving. So we are stepped in the idea of this kind. They put your consciousness at the rest. I have come to the world. I must help others. This is also another idea. That egoistic idea, I have to do. I am doing something. I am doing all the thing. One tells himself how disinterested I am. I am going to help humanity. All this is nothing but egoism. Already in the initial phase, before some time, we have quoted nothing but egoism, that egoistic ideas. In fact, the first human thing being that concerns you, the first human being that concerns you in yourself, you want to diminish suffering, but unless you can change the capacity of suffering into attitude of being happy. That's what the requirement. If suppose somebody is going to hospital and praying God, I am going to that doctor must be there to take my appointment. But think that I near the God you just pray that there is no need. I must not, there must not be any need at all to go to the doctor and wait, because you cure me all. That's what it must be prayed at the feet of the God. So the world will not change unless otherwise this transformation from the capacity of suffering into to change the capacity of suffering into the certitude of being happy. That must be done, and that must be experienced here. Other quotes, unless otherwise this is done, nothing really will change. So it is always the same. We turn in a circle. From the starting point, we move and move and move and move on and on and on. Then finally, we reach the same point where we really we started. One civilization follows the another, one catastrophe another, but the real thing does not change. Same thing. We feel we have moved around a million kilometers, but thing is that from where we originated, there we start, we are reached. There really we are reaching. There is nothing. Only movements are there, but actually same point, nothing else. It is from the civilization to civilization, from catastrophe to another catastrophe coming, but there is nearly no change. For there is something missing. Something is not there. That connecting link, that missing link is there. Till now, we don't know where it will be fulfilled. That is the consciousness. That's all. Same consciousness that is yet to be cultivated, culminated in you. That consciousness is totally lacking. We lag. We don't know. Actually, this is the prime problem, major problem with us. We are unable to know. We have not analyzed at all. Even actually, still now, till now, even after the ages, even after facing catastrophes, so even if we are suffering like anything, still there is no solution to our findings, because this consciousness has to change. With this change of consciousness, maybe your catastrophe may change. But thing is that you have to come from the lower category, lower consciousness to higher consciousness. So that's what must be happen. That the story I keep calling. When somebody is feeling worried and running to the temple, and he is asking the mother, yes, mother, please, what some prayer he is offering. And somebody asks, okay, why are you so much worried? And I want to go to meet the doctor, but thing is that appointment time is over. I came to the mother and asked to serve so that this doctor will be there. that this the gentleman is asking, you have made a error mistake. So instead of asking that a doctor must be present, that appointment must not be cancelled, you should have asked the mother that I did not go. You just do something. You just plan something so that I need not go. I have not to go to the doctor at all. That need of going to the doctor will not come at all. So this consciousness, as long as it is not coming, you will be moving through the circle, and starting point will be the end point. But seeing is that no change will be there. Anyway, it is a great thing. We must know. We must know serving to service is fine. You must serve the world. You must serve the mankind. You must love the mankind. You must love the entire universe. No problem in it. Absolutely, you are free. Something is there. Service to mankind is service to God. Loving the man is the unique thing. But thing is that with the consciousness, everything must be done in that higher consciousness. Because you know God is everywhere. God is in everything. Thing is that we must be know with the proper consciousness. That is what the required condition, and then only knowing and the following everything on God and the divine, then only your service will be ennoble your service, and everything will be ennobled. Vande Mataram.